everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host, Jennifer. I have been a busy girl. I'm a little bit tired. Cleaned and redid all of this. All of it. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. But in case you guys noticed, got a full-on rainbow happening right there. Pretty proud of it. It's pretty. Okay, so we're going to start off with, I wanted to show you my finished objects for the past couple of weeks. I've been working on some things. I've been struggling with some things. First thing I'm going to show you is this. This was previewed in my Instagram account. This is what we're calling a beach bag / blanket combination. This yarn and the idea came from Mary Maxim's August kit, I believe. I started working up the kit as the pattern was written. It starts off solid in the middle and then it works into like a shell, increasing shell on certain spots to make it look like a sand dollar. Pattern was pretty. The pattern was horribly written. I did 7 to 8 hours into this, and it started to do what some of you may know when you're working in the round and you have too many stitches. It starts to wobble. It starts to have so many stitches that it can fold over on itself when you try to lay it flat. And that is exactly what was happening with this pattern. And I knew in this section that was going to happen. The increases right here was way too many, way too fast. And I was like, well, maybe it'll even out when I get to the shell part. When I got to the shell part, there were still way too many stitches, way too many increases. I don't think that I did anything wrong with the pattern. However, I do not recall. I know that one of the patterns we got had a mistake and had a reprint of the pattern. And I know that I did not get the kit, the September kit that followed the August kit. So this may have been one of the ones, but the pattern that came in the kit that I received was horrible. I was so frustrated to put 7 to 8 hours worth of work in and then have to frog it. So I didn't frog it all the way back. I kept the center as is, and then I was very mindful of the way that I increased from that point on. And I put a spiral effect into it because I have worked spiral blankets before. I knew how to do the increases. I knew how to do the... Let me back it up a little bit so you can see more of the blanket. I knew how to do this so that it didn't wobble. It lays flat. I mean, there's a little bit of wobble at the edge, but I think with use, with it being a beach blanket, with it getting wet and getting used, I know that it will stretch out, and I know that it will not be a problem at all, especially when it's laying on sand. So, this is a beach blanket for one, and it also... I did not follow the pattern, so I just put some cotton clothesline. This is the soft clothesline. This is not like the polyester hard plasticky clothesline. This is cotton clothesline. That way, it's in there, it's soft. It kind of blends in with the white, and I don't like wearing that plastic stuff anyway. So, this is what it looks like as a beach bag, or a beach blanket. I got tired of working with, this is Flicka from Line Brand. I got tired of seeing the same color. So then I switched to the Rodeo from Premier. So these are both Rodeo from Premier. Completely interchangeable if you ask me. Completely. The colors lend very well to each other. So I did that to change it up. And then when it got so big that I could sit on it easily with no problem, I ended it with a shell border that had an opening here so that I could put the things through. And then, because the blanket is so big, if you just pulled the string at one point, it will lay on the floor when you try to put it over your shoulder. So what I do is I grab it at 4 points and pull, and pull and pull. And we're stuck because there's a knot there. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. This is what it looks like as a beach bag. Now the bottom, if I put plastic canvas in there, the bottom would lay flat and it would be a flat bottom beach bag. You could fit beach towels in here, sunscreen, anything you need. And with the 4 straps, it fits over my shoulder and hangs where a bag is supposed to hang. Let me show you on Brunhilde. There you go. There you have it. So glad it is done. I am so glad it's done. I did not enjoy working on that. I didn't enjoy frogging all those hours worth of work. I didn't enjoy working with the yarn, rodeo or flicka for that matter. Glad it's done. And I have another Mary Maxim kit out of my life and out of my yarn room. So that is one of my goals for 2020 was to, I didn't talk to you guys about all the little like minuscule goals that I have. I do want to get rid of one of the bookshelves over there. I am on a good start to that. I also want to use up all of the kits that I either am receiving in the future or that I have received in the past year. Get those out of my life. Use them, not stash them. I think that was a mistake I made with Mary Maxim, is I had every intention of going in and using it and doing the pattern with the kit. And I didn't like the patterns with the kits. It was not stuff that I would normally make. I did cancel Mary Maxim. By the way, I am no longer going to receive the Mary Maxim. I'm kind of glad because I saw this month's kits and I would not be happy if I received either of those. But I want to get the Mary Maxim kits out of my stash. They are currently on top of a bookshelf over there and they're just collecting dust. I want to use them, and if I'm not going to use the pattern, use the yarn for something and make it that I didn't waste all of my money on these kits and just use them and get them, you know, like this. I think I'm probably going to give to my daughter if she's interested in it, because it's not my thing. I sit on a towel at the beach or I sit in the sand on the beach because I love the feeling of the sand. But mostly when I'm at the beach, I'm in the water. And then when I'm done swimming and I'm done playing in the water, we go get something to eat and we go about our day. So this beach bag, this beach blanket thing, not really my thing because I don't sit on the beach. I'm not an ornament to just sit out there. I don't suntan. Like if I get sun while I'm out, I get sun. I'm not trying to catch the cancer, none of that. So not really my thing. But, you know, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad it's done. And I'm glad that yarn can move on. Even though I have 3 more skeins of this flicka, because I only used 3 of the flicka. I used, I think, 1 or 2 of the red and then partial white. I think I used 2 of the burnt red color from Premier. So, moving along. I was going to do a video. Actually, I'm probably going to do a video on this on its own. But this is also finished projects that I've made. And I will talk about the yarn and all that in a separate video. So be on the lookout for that probably tomorrow. I got some yarn from Premier. It is the new wool. The Everyday DK Merino blend. And I made a crochet cowl. This is a bigger open cowl, infinity scarf, what have you. It's not big enough to go around my neck again, but I don't really like having those doubled onto my neck. I would rather wear them open like this because I get hot easily and because I don't really like things tight around my neck. Now, before I say that, this next cowl is knit and this is tighter around my face. I'm probably not going to wear it, but I think it is beautiful. And I think this would be great for someone who lives in a cooler climate. So, this cowl is a knit pattern that is going to be released by me. I wrote the pattern. I have it out at Testers currently right now. Super excited. I think it's beautiful. It smells so good because it's clean. So, I just think this is so pretty. I might wear this if it was cold outside, but like right now it's hot and I think it's beautiful. But I also know another use for this cowl pattern that I was discussing yesterday, and I will of course cover that in the next video where I talk about that yarn and that pattern and all that good stuff. The pattern's not going to be released till it's done from testers, but I did want to show you because I'm excited. All right, next. We're moving right along. All right, guys. I got a bunch of Happy Mail recently. This is... Some of these gifts were sent out over a month ago, and because of the postal service, I've told you, has been very bad. I received a box from a wonderful, wonderful subscriber to this channel. Q Oreo. Come on in, babe. I received a box from Robbie. She has been a subscriber for quite a while now. She always dotes on me, sends me wonderful gifts, sends me fantastic emails. I just adore her impeccably. She spoils me. She does. She knows that she does. Of course, Oreo's in and out every time. What are you doing, Mom? What are you doing? So, I cannot show you Robbie's present to me because I was so excited. I opened it and then I started using the stuff that was inside of it, and it is either in the dirty dishes or it is in the cabinet or just put away in the kitchen because I wanted to use it right away. I have been waiting for this package. She sent it on December 10th and I just got it that last week. Yeah, so I was like, so I can't show you that, but I will tell you what was in it. If you remember, Robbie, I think it was November, sent me a box with some Disney dishes, some cups, some Mickey Mouse cups, some Mickey Mouse drinking glasses, that kind of stuff, kitchen stuff, rubber spatulas, pot holders, all Mickey Mouse. She sent me another box that was similar, but this time it had bowls and it had plates like saucers, and I was really excited because now please don't send me bowls after I say this, because sometimes I'll say something and I will get the stuff in the mail. We don't have any bowls in the house right now. We have like plastic Tupperware bowls. Every time I buy bowls, they disappear. So like the glass bowls, the ceramic bowls, every time I buy those, they disappear. They either get broke, they end up in the yard sometimes because the kids will be like, can I borrow, like, and they just take it out there. And because we have the patio area that you can sit out there, and my daughter likes to go out there and eat, which, I mean, hey, but bring the bowl back in. So the bowls kind of, and Mr. Cinnamon takes them to work sometimes so he can have his oatmeal at work. So the bowls always go missing or get broke, or they get chips in them because people doing the dishes are slamming them in the dishwasher, you know. Stuff happens. So I didn't have any glass bowl. I had 2 glass bowls and there's 4 of us. So that didn't work. So now we have 6 glass bowls. And, you know, I gave very specific instructions. These bowls have to be hand washed and put in the rack to dry. And the dish rack, which I've never used one until recently, is sitting on top of the drying rack that Robbie sent me sometime. So it's like a drying pad. Very handy. Have not used one this whole time, my entire life. Now I use it, and it's very handy, and I'm like, why have I not used this before? So I got that wonderful gift from Robbie. There was more pot holders in there, and it's so funny because she sent this on December 10th. And last week, you guys remember, I had to make more pot holders for Mr. Cinnamon because he was complaining because there wasn't enough. Even though there was the other pot holders that I have received from not just Robbie, but like I've gotten a couple different people have sent me pot holders. There's plenty in there. But I followed his request. I made him some cotton ones so that he can wear and tear them as much as he wants and not worry about it, because I know that's what he's thinking. I also received a couple of packages from Kathleen and Catherine. And this actually made me really, really get choked up. I had to walk away from the package for a little while. I mentioned in recent videos that they have announced that for the first 2 weeks back to school, which is now the first month back to school, they changed it again. the kids will be 100% at home learning. This is frustrating for everyone. It's frustrating for the kids. It's frustrating for mom. It's just the demands are constantly changing. And my daughter at 15 years old with a fully adult intellect has a hard time adjusting to this. Now imagine putting a 6-year-old through it. And a 6-year-old with ADHD on top of it. I say that he has ADHD because that is a part of his personality. It is a part of his life, and the changes that we have to make that I did not have to make with my daughter or my 2 nieces that I helped raise. And so it's a whole different world to me, just trying to figure out. It's a learning curve for me. And the reason I say this is because I got a little bit of criticism in my comments with people who were not sympathetic to me. But I don't want sympathy. Trust me, I don't want sympathy. But understanding and support is a different thing. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. No mother is. We do the best we can with what we have. And I just think we should be supporting and loving each other and not ever putting a critical eye on another mother, because you have no idea what she's going through. With that being said, there has been difficulties. Little man is very, very social. He loves interacting with everyone, everywhere. And this whole pandemic has been hard on him more than anybody else, because I'm not a very social person. My daughter's not a very social person. Mr. Cinnamon is, but he still has work. And even though he has been home way more than he ever has been, he also gets an escape. And he gets to go out and like look at people and talk to people if he so chooses. And he's always on, like right now, you could probably hear him. He's on a video conference. He's always doing important stuff with important people. So, but little man has had a hard time, you know? And sitting still at a desk. And I don't expect him to sit like I let him move around, but he twitches, and he has a kitchen chair that he sits in that has a padding, and he just will stab his pencil into the padding, and he will like pick the foam out of the chair because he's so bored, and he has to fidget, and he has to twitch, and he has to move, and he cannot stand sitting still and not interacting with his friends and interacting with the teacher and all the stuff that makes his personality his personality. So I know this is like a long story long, but Catherine sent little man. I might get choked up. I got a lot of comments with suggestions to buy him an exercise ball to sit on so that he can bounce, he can roll back and forth, he can twitch. He can do what he needs to do so he's not sitting still and driving himself crazy. And yeah, I was considering buying him an exercise ball. But I hadn't gotten around to it yet because I'm worrying about other things as well on top of, that. So I went to my mailbox, and there was an Amazon package from Catherine. And there was a child-size exercise ball in there. There was I don't remember what they're called right now. His teacher knew exactly what it was. It is a black disc that is the equivalent of an exercise ball to sit on your chair. So it has air in it. It is rubberized, but it is a flat disc, like a pillow. And he sits on it, and he can twitch, and he can rock on it, and he can put it on the floor, and he can put his feet on it and bounce his feet. Yeah, pretty cool. And then she sent him a hand fidget thing, which is basically every kid's dream. It is like never-ending bubble wrap. So it's a silicone disc that has these bubbles in it that you could pop one way and then turn it and pop them the other way, and it makes a satisfying pop, and then you turn it over and it's never-ending bubble wrap. And my daughter even was like, she's like, I've seen these before. And so she was excited. She showed him how to play with it and all that. It's probably still in the car because I let him open it in the car because I knew what it was. Knowing, number one, that someone cared enough to do that for him and for me, that meant everything to me. I'm gonna get emotional, but it's my kid, A lot of people, especially people in my family and my life, They don't understand. They've never seen a child with ADHD. He gets labeled as a bad kid a lot. And he's not. He's got a heart of gold, but he don't know how to control his body. He doesn't know how to control his mind. And that equals him trying to hold it down, and then it explodes. And so what other people see in the stores is he's acting out. He's not trying to. He just does not know how to control his body. And he gets frustrated. And that is not me being a mom excusing a kid with bad behavior, because that's not it at all. Because sometimes he is just plain rotten. I will admit that to everybody. He's a little boy. Okay? So, knowing that one of you guys, and I know several of you care enough, but just the fact that she did that and she sent that for him, like, somebody else understands what I'm going through, what he's going through, somebody else supports me. That was a really big deal for me. So the reason I can't show you those is because he has them currently, because he will not get off or stay off that rubber ball at all. He watches it. He watches TV while rolling around the living room on top of the rubber ball. He sits on the plastic or the rubber disc for school because that's what he prefers. He just loves that ball so much. And so it is really cool, but I have to make sure when we leave the house or when we go somewhere. Scarlett is currently being re-crate trained. She's doing really good. She likes it in there. But I also have to make sure that I keep the ball and the rubber disc put up so that she doesn't get into it. Because she's 2 years old, but she's still very much puppy brained and she just wants to eat everything. And yeah. So, all right. Now, I also got some other happy mail. That does not make me cry. It makes me happy. And I know, you guys, I almost apologize for crying. I'm going to stop doing that because I always get yelled at when I do that. So, this is from Nikki's Crochet Nook. I seen she sent these to a couple other podcasters. I thought this was really cool, and this made me smile super big. She sent me a Christmas card. Very cute. She sent me a little note, but I don't read my notes because those are just for me. She sent me decaf and herbal teas, which is, so, I know that a lot of podcasters get tea in their mail, and I can't always drink the tea because of the level of caffeine that may be in it, because my heart does not like caffeine at all. As a matter of fact, I have stopped drinking any type of soda, any type of anything that's not water, or like, I will drink some juice with my breakfast. Since the beginning of the year, and I'm doing really good. I've only had 1 glass of Sprite, and I'm like super proud because it's been really hard to kick the soda habit. I'm going to tell you that. So the fact that you guys send me tea that I can drink means a couple things. That you actually listen to me when I ramble, which means a lot to me. And that you care about my health because you're sending me tea that is healthy for me that I can actually drink. So I'm super excited to drink these. I really like that this is black tea that has been decaffeinated, because that is actually really hard to come by. So, and it has refreshing citrus fruit flavors. I love citrus. I am actually the kind of person that will sit down and eat a lemon. I love lemons. I grew up on lemons. I used to eat them doused in salt. Now I will put salt on my lemon, but I don't like go overboard the way I used to when I was little. And there's some little travel scissors, which is awesome because, oh, come on. I am always losing my scissors to people who borrow them and never put them back. So these are going to go in either my knit or my crochet bag, because one of the bags is missing my scissors. Yeah, you see what I'm going through. I can't close these. I'll mess with those later. And then she made this plaque, and she said in the description or in the card that she made this with things that remind her of me. So it says my name. It says Cinnamon Stitches, which I think is so cool. And then she put a little bird, probably because I talk about my bird feeders. The Cinderella pumpkin carriage, because you know I love Disney. It's either a Disney castle or it's German houses. Either way, that fits because I am German. I mean, I'm other stuff too, but I'm German. She made this crochet hook. She put some mittens, which I thought were super cute. She put a little bee on there. I have a bee in here. In here? I don't think you can see it, but it's over there. And my daughter is my Juju bee. So, and then a Mickey Mouse glove. And TV, because I'm on TV. Isn't that cool? I love that she made that for me. I think that is so cool. And I really like that it's all like diamondy. I love that. Love it. And then, was that it? Yes, that was what was in the envelope from Nikki. I got another Christmas card from Vicky. Vicky has the same last name as another one of my subscribers that I've actually interacted with quite a lot. And I just thought that was funny. And they're from 2 different states, so I don't know. Maybe they're related, maybe they're not. So it's not going back in. That card is beautiful, so thank you for that. And then this package has also been out in the atmosphere for a while. Now, if you ever see these purple envelopes, these little ones, these are from Rose Likes Crochet, but this is not from Rose. I mean, it's from Rose ultimately, but it was purchased through Rose's Etsy shop. Rose makes a lot of stitch markers. She also puts a lot of her crochet items in her Etsy shop. And Rose is from Rose Likes Crochet, in case I didn't say that already. And this is the second package that I received from Christmas from different subscribers who have bought me Rose's stitch markers, which I thought was cool. So the first set that I received, I already hung up here on my mandala. They were Mickey Mouse themed. And this card says, "Thank you, Jennifer." Whoop! Did you see that? Just like blew out of my hand. Thank you, Jennifer, for all you do as Cinnamon Stitches on YouTube. I hope you enjoy these, from Audrey in the UK. And Audrey wanted to get me something for Christmas, and I believe it was Audrey that emailed me and said that she ordered these for me so that I could have something that wouldn't cost her so much in shipping. I might be wrong about that, but I'm almost positive it was Audrey. And plus she saw these and she knew that I had to have them. Love this one so much because it's the Mickey glove, which totally goes with the gift I got from Nikki. The Mickey glove. This is so cute. And then, oh, come on. These are Mickey heads. Aren't those so cute? So those are going to go up on my mandala, my shield, So thank you, Audrey, so much. I love that you sent these to me. I know Rose was getting a hard time because she put the packages out there and nobody was getting them. I know for certain she sent I think it was the last one that I got was sent by Rose. And Rose is only, I think she's like a 12-hour drive from my house. Okay, 12-hour drive. She's like several states away, but she's 12 hours away from me. If I recall, that's how long it would take me to get to Chicago area. She sent a package on the 10th as well. And it circulated until last week. Same thing with the box from Robbie. They both got mailed on the same day, and it both took them about a month to get here. So that is insane. And I know she was getting some backlash and people were frustrated, but it wasn't her fault at all. It's just the mail system entirely. All right. Then I got this tube. And there is a wonderful poster in here that was sent to me. Let me see if I can find my note. There's a note in here. It was sent to me from Nina. There's no other information. It says thank you. It says Nina ordered this and sent it to me. And the poster is a very long quotation about self-esteem and self-worth. And I appreciate it a lot. Some of you know, if you've been around long enough, you know that I have had struggles with loving myself and accepting the overwhelming amount of love that I receive from you guys. And I feel unworthy a lot. Some of it is past trauma, and some of it is I'm just really trying to be humble. And I don't want to come on and be like arrogant and like, well, I deserve it. I don't just, there's nobody on this earth that should ever say I deserve all this, because that is not factual. So part of it is just me trying to be humble and trying to stay in my lane and not get a big head and all that. And I think it's more that than low self-esteem, but I do appreciate the words that are in that poster. And I think it is a good reminder for not just me, but for the teenager in my house who also struggles with self-worth. And so I appreciate that a lot. And I know that it was coming from your heart. And so thank you very much, Nina. And then I got this box. And I got emailed about this box because this box came from Lori. Ow. I have a wound on my thumb. It is a tiny wound. It is killing me. I think it's infected. I really think it's infected. I tried to put medicine on it last night and it made it entirely worse. And so now it's swollen and throbby and like I keep banging it. Like, of course, today I'm going to bang it on everything. I'm even having a hard time knitting or crocheting because it hurts. But it's like right along the nail bed. Oh, okay. So Lori emailed me. This is funny because she said she wanted to send me a package. And then in a couple of videos, there was information that made her believe that maybe I would not appreciate what was in this package. And I'm going to tell you as I go along and show you. Okay, first of all, you guys see, I moved the Muir Woods that was on that top shelf over here. And I moved it to here so that it was more in my face so that I used it. That's part of the goals that I have for this year. And I also wanted my cakes to be all in one place. And like I did a lot of rearranging, okay? So I put the Muir Woods here and here. And in a video recently, I talked about how I have like pretty much almost all the colors. I think I said I have all the colors, but I do not. I have a lot of the colors. And I had plans for that yarn and I have not used it. And I'm like, I'm in a hoarding type mentality that if I save it, I will have it later. But if I use it up, I might not be able to get it again. It goes back to my being poor as a child. I talked about all this in a recent video and how I had probably too much of that. She had bought me all the colorways. So she said she felt bad because she bought me one of every color. And I definitely don't have this one. This one is so pretty. Yeah, I don't think I have this one. Yeah. So she sent me all of the colors. And she was worried because of what I had said. Well, that's also one of my favorite yarns. And I do want to make like a giant blanket with it. And those are smaller skeins. So I told her, I said, it is okay. Go ahead and send it anyway because I'm going to love it. And I'm going to appreciate it. And that's exactly what she did. And I do absolutely love it and appreciate it. So now maybe I might have to replace my shawl on the ball and put another Muir Woods cube in there and figure out what I'm going to do with the shawl on the ball, which I have not used either. I hoarded it up because I got a really good sale for the shawl on the ball years ago at not Hobby Lobby, AC Moore. I have not used it, not once, because it was so thin. I was scared to use it. I was a beginner crocheter, and now I have it all, and I'm like, why aren't you using it? It's beautiful. I can both knit and crochet with it, like, but the hoarding mentality. Okay, so then in another video, I think it might have been the Christmas one, when I was sitting at my dining room table, there was a stitch behind me in the cubes that Mr. Cinnamon built for me. And she said she thinks she bought me the same stitch that I already have. This is not the same stitch. This is actually smaller than the stitch that... I gotta take his tag off. That hurts them. They don't like having a tag in their ear. This is smaller than the stitch they have in there. This is a different stitch entirely. And since I collect stitches, he's a different size. And actually little man wants him. So I might let little man have him because he likes Stitch too. But we'll see. There can never be too much Stitch in your house. So I also have a giant Stitch that is... his body is bigger than my body. Like, he's a giant Stitch. I paid a lot of money for him at Disney World, and I just love him so much. He's so soft and cuddly. So, and then, that's not all that was in this box. She also sent me this, and again, he's got a tag in his ear, and that hurts him. I don't know why they do that to these poor babies. So she got me, this is actually a really big coffee cup. This is like bigger than all of my other coffee cups. I think the only coffee cup I have in comparison to this is my Premier Yarns coffee cup that they sent me, which is kind of like seen better days. The sticker that is on there that says Premier Yarns is not dishwasher proof, and it's been through the dishwasher, so it's like peeling. So, but big giant coffee cup and a Stitch inside. Isn't that cute? I love that. So, thank you so much, Lori. Can't get that tag off. So that is my happy mail. So now let's move on to other subjects, like the fact that I have pretty much rearranged this entire, like even this box right here is totally different. I rearranged every single inch of this room. Well, I did not redo this bookshelf because this bookshelf is going to leave my life. So I have to figure out what to do with all that yarn. But let me talk about why I did this. See if I can get my camera. I'm sorry for moving it so much. Now what happened was, I feel like setup. What had happened was, okay, I went digging through my stash looking for the yarn for the Premier Yarn catalog video, which I just saw the catalog is currently on the floor because the floor is a mess. I still have to finish getting rid of things that I need to get rid of. I went digging for the yarn that I knew that I possessed. I knew that I had the garden yarn, and I knew that I had bamboo fair, and I thought I didn't have cotton fair, which I do. I have about 20 balls of cotton fair, but I don't use it, so I forgot that it was actually this cabinet right here. I have gotten mailed some. I have purchased a ton when it was on sale. I had it and I forgot it. So while I was searching for the yarns to show you and I could not find the bamboo fair and I could not find the garden yarn, I was frustrated. And in the process, I had an avalanche of this shelf. It all came falling out while I was looking because that was 2 rows deep of skeins. So they were like front to back, the whole thing. It is currently about 4 rows deep of cakes, but the front cake is also the back cake. So like this is like a butterscotch colored one. It's butterscotch all the way to the back. The coffee shop is the coffee shop all the way to the back. There's sweet rolls. I can't remember if the pink is the sweet roll. The purple is the candy shop. There is like, I know everything is organized in there, and this shelf is like mandalas, mandala ombre, Karen cakes. I don't know, whatever else is in there. Those are my variety of cakes, and there's more cakes above. Okay, I know where everything's at. The cakes are there. I redid this whole shelf to be rainbow from top to bottom now, so it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I have more blue yarn than I have anything else, and I use blue the least, so that makes no sense that I keep buying so much blue when I don't use it. Because blue is a beautiful color, but it's not my favorite color. And I have the least of the coral, which is my favorite color. Yeah, so because of the avalanche, because I could not find the yarns I was looking for, I was very frustrated. And I came in here and I literally just tore the room apart. And all of these skeins at one point were on the floor at some point yesterday. I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. I did. Just real talk. I can't believe I've been talking for 40 minutes. I did not intend this to be so long, okay? I completely redid all of the room. I busted my butt. And in the process, I came to some realizations about my mentality and about my hoarding tendencies when it comes to yarn. Yes, I love yarn. And I hear all the time from all of you wonderful enablers that it's not hoarding if it's yarn. It's, like all these excuses. But really, like when I can't find yarn that I know I possess, it becomes a problem. And yesterday especially, I just felt like I was drowning in the yarn, and that is not how yarn should make you feel. This is not at all about any other person besides me. So if this feels personal to you, it's not. This is just what I was going through yesterday. So I went through and I got rid of the yarns that don't make me happy. I got rid of the yarns that I bought just because it was on clearance yarn and I have no intention of using it. I got rid of yarn that I just don't like for one reason or the other, either a texture or a color. Like I had some brown. I hate brown, so I just got rid of it. And I I don't really like bulky yarn a whole lot, so I threw some bulky yarn in there. If I had too many of one type of yarn, so I think there's a coral color here. I had 6 skeins of a sport weight coral that I will never use all 6 skeins. I threw half in the bags. Now, what am I going to do with all this yarn, you ask? Because I already know what's coming. You should have a giveaway. I'm not doing a giveaway. I'm not. And I'll tell you why. Giveaways cost me money. And sometimes they cost me a lot of money. And I'm not in a place where I want to spend a lot of money on sending packages across the country. I think giveaways also are being cracked down on by YouTube because a lot of people are using giveaways. And this is not just in the crafting community. This is like all across the YouTube community. There was an article Mr. Cinnamon pointed out to me the other day. YouTube is cracking down on people who use giveaways to just boost their subscribership. I am not ever going to pay subscribers to be part of my channel by doing giveaways. If I do a giveaway, it will be a giveaway to people that I know interact with my channel, that I see interacting with my channel a lot. So, and I don't announce that I'm doing it. There are several people that will be in my comments in this video, I guarantee it, that will know exactly what I'm talking about. I send them a little something, and I don't tell nobody, and I don't even always tell them I'm doing it. I do it to the people who are interacting with my channel. I give them back, but I don't like the idea of giveaways. If I do a giveaway for a specific, like Knit Crate, for example, I'm an affiliate with Knit Crate. I want to get the word out for Knit Crate because they are sending me a product. And so I will do giveaways of Knit Crate stuff. Premier Yarns has outright asked me to do giveaways. I have no problem doing giveaways when it comes to like somewhat for a company or for a purpose, but not just to gain subscribership and not to, just get rid of my stash. And also, I thought about, honestly, I have 4 garbage bags full of yarn that I took out of this room. That's a lot of yarn. It's easily over 100 skeins. I thought about dropping it at the Goodwill or dropping it at St. Vincent de Paul and letting someone find this treasure and buy yarn up. I thought about that. I did. And that was my plan. And Mr. Cinnamon came in and he's all, Jen, why don't you put it in boxes and let your subscribers get it? So what we're going to do, I'm going to put up some mystery boxes, and I'm going to be very careful, and I'm going to have boxes with natural fibers in it exclusively, because I know not everybody likes natural fibers and not everybody can use natural fibers. So I will have a couple boxes that is just natural fibers. There will be wools in there. There will be alpacas in there. that kind of stuff. I may even throw in a skein or two of my hand-dyed yarn. I don't know yet because I still have not touched that bookshelf. But the natural boxes will be a different cost, and they will be specifically labeled that they have natural fibers in them, so to avoid allergies and the thing like that. And then the rest will have like basic acrylics. And I figured a fair price for the boxes will be around $1 a skein. Doesn't matter what type of yarn it is. It does not matter how big or how little the skein is. I'm going to just do $1 a skein. Some skeins are big, some skeins are little, but I still think if you average it out, your boxes will still be a good price. I'm going to pre-package them. They will be pre-priced. I have to go buy the boxes to fill them, and I will let you know what the price is based on how much I could fit in the box. And of course you will have to pay shipping, but I'm not doing this to gain money. I'm not doing this for monetary value. I am doing this so that I know that my yarn is going to someone who will appreciate it. And that's why I wanted to do this and not just dump it at the Goodwill and hope it doesn't end up in the landfill, because that would break my heart. Because I know the Goodwill does that. They put it on the shelf for like 3 weeks and then they put it onto the outlet. And once the outlet's done with it, they either sell it by like bulk, like ton boxes, or they get rid of it. I have seen them fill up carts and take it straight to the dumpster. And that's not something I want for my yarn. So that is what we're going to be doing in the Etsy shop very soon. We're going to have mystery boxes. And I'm going to try to keep them reasonably priced and small so that like any one of you can get a box. I'm not, like I said, this is not for monetary gain, but this is for, you know, trying to de-stash a little bit and try to declutter and to try to simplify my life a lot. So we got big plans, we got big goals, and whether you buy the boxes or not, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, if you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. I posted about this in the Facebook group already to just get an idea of how many people would be interested if we do this. But I will say this, when I release the boxes, I will do a video. I will also announce it in the Facebook group. It will be first come, first serve, obviously. And you need to understand that this is someone's stash. There may be yarn in there because I shop at the Goodwill. There may be a skein or two from the Goodwill. There's not a lot. There's like 4 skeins that are from the Goodwill that came off my shelf and went in the bags. Most of it's brand new. Most of it's yarn I paid for. But there may be a couple. There, you may get a skein that's from the Goodwill. I will not put all 4 of the Goodwill in one box. So if you get a skein that has a Goodwill sticker on it, there is also yarn in there with clearance tags on it from Hobby Lobby. So I will tell you that. There is name brand yarn in there. There is good yarn in there. There is yarn that I just knew that I would not have a use for, or I had too much of it, or, you know, whatever. So with that being said, we are reaching 50 minutes here, and I did not intend this video to be this long, and I have more stuff I need to work on today. So I am going to let you go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.